In each and every sport, whether it's basketball, football, hockey, there comes every decade or so a generational talent who is able to blow past records and change the game as we know it. This player becomes so transcendent that when the story gets passed down the generations, an aura surrounds their name as it becomes a piece of history. A two-time league MVP, three-time champion, and multiple All-NBA teams. You and I both know already what Stephen Curry has achieved on the wooden basketball court. But do you know where it all began and how it all started? Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel as we rewind the clocks of time and look into how the legendary sharpshooter became the man we know today. Born in Akron, Ohio in 1988, Curry is the son of former NBA player Dell Curry. Now, Dell Curry was not just a regular NBA player. He was selected 15th overall and played for several teams, with the bulk of his playing career being in Charlotte, where he was named 6th Man of the Year and shot over 40% from beyond the arc. It was here where his son Steph started to fall in love with the game of basketball as he picked up a ball at the tender age of 5. And it was here where the star we know today was born. Steph's mother Sonia was an athlete herself and was also a big part of how Steph became Steph as well. She believes in teamwork and believes that families, like all NBA squads, is all about teamwork. She raised 3 successful kids in Steph, his brother Seth, and his sister Sadell, who played volleyball in college. Sonia ran her own Christian Montessori school where all 3 of her kids attended and believed in structure. God first, family second, and school next. Once, Sonia made Steph sit out a middle school basketball game because he didn't do his chores. His father Dell, on the other hand, would often take Steph and his brother Seth to shoot-arounds in Charlotte. When they relocated to Toronto, where Dell finished off his career, Vince Carter, a now retired NBA star, took notice of Steph early on. Carter noticed that Steph and his brother Seth was always there for home game shoot-arounds and always had a basketball in their hands. They loved the game. You could see the appreciation for the game and the dedication. They were always working on their shot. Steph had a nice follow-through then. It's like he's destined to be an NBA player. Before every home game, after my workouts, Steph and I would play one-on-one. There eventually came a time when Carter had to actually block Curry's shot to prevent Curry from winning. All this when Curry was just a kid. Steph Curry, when in Toronto, played for Queensway Christian College. When his dad Dell Curry enrolled him in the school, the basketball coach, James Lackey, was shocked that a basketball star like Dell Curry would enroll his son in a puny school like Queensway. He figured that since Dell was around 6'6", that his son would be around 6 foot. And that was exciting for him. What he saw though, when he met Steph for the first time, was a tiny 5'3" boy who shouldn't be on a basketball court. He was disappointed, but not for too long. From the moment he saw Steph with a basketball on the court, his opinion changed. Spoken from his words, "Oh, he was just unbelievable. I had never seen a kid that age with such knowledge of the game. I mean, he could shoot, even back then, from just about anywhere on the court. If you left him open even for a second, you knew it was going to be going in. He was just an incredible player, a great passer." Even as a child, Steph Curry was creating a buzz in the world of basketball. During their season at Queensway, there was a time when they were deep in the season and undefeated, playing a strong team in Toronto. With about 1 minute to go, they were down by 6 or 7 points, and their coach James was trying to lighten the mood, saying, "Hey, let's be good sports whether we win or lose, and shake hands and keep our heads up." Steph stopped him in the middle of that little pep talk and said, "We are not going to lose this game." And he subsequently said, "Give me the ball and we will win." James formed a new strategy at that point of the game. He said to his team, "All right, guys, that's the play. Anytime you get the ball, pass to Stephen." The next 60 seconds of that game is something James still remembers to this day. He was shooting from everywhere. I don't think he missed a single shot. And we were down by 6 or 7 points, and we ended up winning by 6 or 7 points. It was the most dramatic turnaround I had ever seen. After Steph's father finished off his career in Toronto, the family relocated back to Charlotte, where he enrolled in Charlotte Christian High School. During one summer in high school, Steph realized that in order to bring his game to the next level, he'd have to change his shooting form. As the smallest player on the floor, he understood that his shots are going to be easily blocked by taller players. So he looked over his mechanics and changed his release from the waist level to above the head. It has now become one of the fastest releases in the basketball world. At Charlotte Christian High School, Steph was named All-Conference, All-State, and led his team to 3 conference titles and 3 state playoff appearances. Originally, Steph wanted to follow his father's footsteps and enroll at Virginia Tech. He tried out for the college, did well, and received lots of good compliments on his shooting abilities and basketball IQ. But when he went home, his phone never rang. He wondered what was going on, so he asked his father, "What the heck is going on?" Dell told him that Virginia Tech didn't trust his small 160-pound frame and didn't believe he was physically capable of keeping up with bigger and stronger ACC players. He wasn't offered a scholarship and instead only a walk-in spot. This was the golden opportunity for Bob McKillop, the head coach at Davidson. It's not every day that you get the opportunity to draft a superstar that everyone else overlooks. McKillop first saw Curry play back in high school, where Curry's character showed more than his game. Curry didn't play particularly well that game. He had turnovers, missed shots, couldn't keep up defensively. But what Bob noticed was how Curry handled himself in that situation. He didn't give up. He didn't stop playing. And more importantly, he played with a little Mamba mentality and didn't show any frustration as things were going south, but instead kept marching forward. McKillop saw a player who wouldn't be impacted by the demons of failure and said to himself, "This is a young man who transcends time. He lives in the moment." Just because other colleges didn't want to draft Curry didn't mean he'd automatically go to Davidson though. Bob McKillop still had to go through Curry's recruiting wall. His mother, Sonia. Sonia said herself that, "I have the reputation of being the tough one in the family, so my interviewing techniques can be a little daunting sometimes." Like all mothers, Sonia wanted what was best for her son Steph, and wanted to make sure that he was in good hands. She asked McKillop a lot of questions, but ultimately wanted to know one thing: if he'd keep Curry accountable. At the end of the interview, she was satisfied with how the Davidson head coach answered all the questions and believed he was a good fit for the growth of her son. The hunt was over. Davidson, who had been aggressively trying to recruit Curry since the 10th grade, made the steal of a century. When McKillop got back to Davidson at an alumni event, he said to everyone, "Wait till you see Steph Curry. He is something special." Off the court, Steph was like any other college student, having fun, goofing around, and enjoying a good time with his friends. Like how college should be. Things were different though. When he laced up his sneakers and stepped onto the court, he became what he always was: a bucket. In the first season at Davidson, Steph Curry already impacted his basketball team, improving them from a 64% win team to an 85% win team. The perception of Davidson has changed after the addition of Curry. What was once viewed as a non-contending team has now appeared on the radar of the NCAA. In his freshman season, Steph Curry already started breaking records. Can you guess which ones he broke first? If you guessed the number of three-pointers made in a single season, you got it right. The previous record was at 113. Curry cruised right by that to 122. The following season, Steph grew to his adult height of 6 foot 3 inches. During his sophomore year, Curry continued to put his footprints in the world of basketball. Because of the Chef Curry's recipes, the Wildcats finished with a 20-0 conference record and earned another bid to the March Madness NCAA tournament. On March 21, 2008, the Wildcats were matched up with their number 7 seed Gonzaga. The Gonzaga Bulldogs were leading the game in the first half and early in the second half with a comfortable 11-point lead. I wouldn't be surprised if Curry enacted the same strategy he used in Toronto, where he told the coach, "Just give me the ball." Curry ended up scoring 30 points in the second half and led the Wildcats to their first NCAA tournament win since 1969. Curry finished the game with 40 points, shooting 8 to 10 from the three-point line. 2 days after that extraordinary game, Steph was back at it again. The Wildcats were matched up against the heavy favorites, Georgetown. In the first half, Curry only managed 5 points and his team was down by 17. Just like always, Curry handled the pressure well and didn't give up. In the second half, he scored a heap of buckets, racked up 25 points, and led Davidson to a come-from-behind win at 74-70. His third game in his NCAA tournament wasn't really different. He led his team against the number 3 seed Wisconsin and easily won the game, scoring 33 points while routing his team to a 73-56 scoreboard and into the Elite 8. The Wildcats were now matched with a number 1 seeded team, the Kansas Jayhawks. Despite a 25-point performance by the Chef, the Wildcats narrowly lost the game 57-59. The Jayhawks ended up winning the next 2 games and won the 2008 NCAA championship. This loss wasn't a complete loss for Curry, however. He did end up setting another record during this game. Yes, that's right, Steph Curry once again set the record of most three-pointers in a single season across NCAA history at 162. That's NCAA history over 100 years of games, and Steph Curry set the record. Just amazing. Many thought at this point Curry would forego his remaining college years and enter the NBA, but he surprised people when he said he would return for a 3rd year. When asked why, he responded that he wanted to improve his skills as a point guard, which is most likely the position he'll play in the NBA. In his 3rd and last season at Davidson, Curry was a menace in the NCAA. Other teams now knew who he was and the type of damage he can inflict in very short periods of time. On November 25th, Davidson was matched up against Loyola, who employed something similar to the Jordan rules, which meant a constant double team on Curry whenever he had the ball in his hands. It was effective in stopping Curry in the sense that he did finish the game with 0 points. But because they did employ this rule, they were outmanned and ultimately defeated 78-48. The very next game, Curry erupted for 44 points. He set the record that season as the leading scorer at 28.6 points per game, along with 5.6 assists. After the season ended, Curry decided to opt out of his senior season and to enter the 2009 NBA draft. Steph Curry was drafted 7th overall by the Golden State Warriors. He won't, however, get his jersey retired by Davidson just quite yet. True to his words to Sonia Curry of keeping Steph accountable, Bob McKillop told TMZ Sports that Curry would not get his number retired until he completes his degree. Steph Curry has always been an underdog. He stated that the underdog mentality and mindset will always be part of who I am. Humble beginnings in the game, being overlooked, and having to really, on the court, fight for everything. Fight for everything he did. 2 MVP awards, 3 championships, a 50-40-90 season, multiple All-NBA teams, and a scoring title are only the beginning of Curry's journey. A journey that started off 20 years ago, as a basketball happened to land in his tiny 5-year-old hands. A journey that started off with a short, small basketball player who didn't let other people's opinions dictate how far he can go. A journey that started off with a dream. What's your dream? If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button down. Let us know what you think about this video in the comments down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this.